Welcome back to Headlines, everybody. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. First up, AOC hosted a webinar with tips on how illegal immigrants can evade ICE. And now she has the DOJ looking at whether she crossed the line. Well, AOC believes in open borders, so clearly lines aren't really her thing. Then Donald Trump delivers a roast so brutal to CNN's Kaitlan she might want to start covering press conferences from a burn unit. CNN reporters might have to start signing a roast consent form before attending White House pressers. Next, Gavin Newsom vows to veto a bill blocking California corrections from cooperating with ICE. I never thought I'd say this, but I agree with Gavin Newsom on something. And finally, Jon Stewart shocks Jen Psaki by pointing out that the Democratic Party isn't exactly democratic. We've got the video clip. Okay, let's dive in. Nothing says serving Americans like teaching people how to dodge the law. AOC recently hosted a webinar on her office's Facebook page discussing the tactics used by ICE authorities in New York to arrest illegal immigrants in hopes that the webinar could help these illegals avoid deportation. Wait a minute, did I read that right? AOC is teaching people how to evade ICE?
But Tom, you got AOC out there, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Congresswoman, putting out a webinar, doing a webinar to help illegals avoid, I guess, apprehension, giving tips about how to continue to remain in the country and ultimately game the system.
So this is from AOC's Know Your Rights in Case of ICE guide. Man, just the title sounds like, yeah, it's all true. Anyway, this guide, which she shared on X, and it says, do not open your door. ICE cannot enter your home without a warrant signed by a judge. Tell the agents to show you the warrant by sliding it under the door. At the top of AOC's X post, she wrote this: believe it or not, in America, everyone has rights, citizen or not. We all should know our rights to protect ourselves and others from illegal search and seizure. Citizen or not, we all have rights. Yeah, but only one of those groups actually has to follow the rules, apparently. I wonder what Tom Homan had to say about this.
And I sent an email today to the Deputy Attorney General. At what level is that impediment? Is that impediment? Is that impeding our law enforcement efforts? If so, what are we going to do about it? Is she crossing the line? So I'm working with the Department of Justice and finding out where is that line that they cross. So maybe AOC is going to be in trouble now. But
so the DOJ is investigating AOC for impeding authorities. The only thing she's more skilled at impeding than ICE is the creation of jobs in her district. You know, if AOC were any more committed to helping criminals, she'd be the next Soros-funded DA. CNN's Kaitlan got roasted so hard by Trump, she started bringing a diaper bag and burn cream to press conferences. President Trump was discussing Russian President Vladimir Putin during a press conference when CNN's Kaitlan decided it would be a good idea to interject without being called on. Collins interrupted Trump by asking him if he trusts President Putin, and this is how Trump responded.
This should have been done by Biden years ago. This should have never been allowed to happen. I know he's a friend of yours.
But couldn't Putin just withdraw his...
He's a friend of
today?
CNN. That's why nobody watches CNN anymore, because they have no credibility. Okay, who else? Yes.
At this rate, Trump should just start carrying around a buzzer like he's on America's Got Talent. Sorry, Kaitlan, that's a no from me. Some of you might remember a little while ago when Trump was signing an executive order and Collins once again demonstrated her impeccable timing.
Mr. President, you won the White House in part because of high inflation. If your tariffs make prices go up...
Excuse me, we haven't asked you to speak yet, please. Right?
Kaitlan has the timing of a drunk uncle trying to catch the bouquet at a wedding. Would you like to see one more? I think we're kind of on a roll. So here's one more.
You think that's going to make a difference?
Does it comfort their families?
They are a group of people that have lost their lives. If you want a list of the names, we can give you that. We'll be giving that very soon. We're in coordination with American Airlines. We're in coordination very strongly, obviously, with the military. But I think that's not a very smart question.
But are you
I'm surprised coming from you.
Are you blaming your...
CNN executives are now considering renaming Kaitlan's segment to Getting Owned with Kaitlan Collins. There is a bill in California to block California state corrections from cooperating with ICE, and Newsom said he's going to veto it. Wait a minute, what? California Governor Gavin Newsom vowed to veto a Democrat-led bill that would expand California's sanctuary state laws by protecting convicted criminals in California prisons from deportation. The bill bans notifying ICE about release dates, responding to ICE's requests for information, and transferring criminals to ICE custody. California Democrats. Apparently, the only people they don't want in California are taxpayers and U-Haul customers. But Newsom said that he'd veto it. Finally, a criminal protection law Newsom doesn't support. What's next? San Francisco admitting that sidewalks and toilets aren't the same thing? It's like watching a vegan suddenly order a steak. You're confused, but also impressed. Jon Stewart said that it's astounding how undemocratic the Democratic Party can be.
I've been shocked by how undemocratic the Democratic Party can be.
Tell me, what do you mean by, I don't disagree with you necessarily, but what do you mean by that?
By putting their foot on the scales to get, make sure that Hillary Clinton comes out of the thing, or make sure that,
Anyone else surprised that John didn't use a more recent example? Perhaps one involving a coup orchestrated by Nancy Pelosi that culminated in the crowning of Kamala without her receiving one vote? I guess he missed that one. I mean, there are so many examples, it's just hard to pick one. And Jen Psaki, she says, "What do you mean?" Psaki played dumb so fast she almost qualified for a seat on The View. And before I leave, I wanted to wish all of you a very happy Valentine's Day. I hope you get some flowers or at least some food. All right, thanks for watching Headlines. I'm Wes Austin. Good night.